because you've been doing Murph, yes, you've been doing some strength work, putting on a little bit of size. People say once you've starting adding size, obviously you've got more weight, so that can affect your running ability, because every step is going to require more energy because you've got more mass to move. Do you find weight training has a little or big effect, so that you have to deliberately train around to make sure it doesn't affect it too much? Or do you find that actually has no effect at all? Like maybe a lot of your strength gains are based on skill and more neural rather than gaining mass, and you find that you're still able to maintain good endurance in running despite putting on mass for other skills that you need to do with hybrid training?
Yeah, and there's certainly a cost to added mass, but potential benefit as well. For me personally, I've gained about 20 to 25 pounds or so since my more running focused days, 6 to 8 years ago when I was in the Spartan Pro team and all that kind of stuff. My short distance running, so like my mile times and that kind of thing, have been largely unaffected. My easy aerobic paces have gotten a little bit slower. So like my heart rate controlled runs, a set percentage of my heart rate max and that kind of thing, those are a little bit slower than they used to be, despite my speed times not necessarily changing a whole lot. How much of that is actually related to added mass versus just change in training priorities and that kind of thing is, could be up for debate. I think that at the end of the day, when we look at the limits of hybrid performance, people's overall body composition and body size and that kind of thing is going to be one of the biggest limiting factors that we run up against. And we look at how fast can, this really strong power lifter be. One of the main limiting factors is going to be, well, how big are they? That's definitely always going to be a huge limiting factor. In kind of small ranges, should you gain 5 pounds of muscle, for example, is that going to slow you down, or what's that effect going to be? Talking about realistic or probable kind of weight gains or losses for the average hybrid athlete. I don't think that those are going to be super significant, given proper training. If you do some hypertrophy work and put on 3-4 pounds of muscle, maybe drop a pound of fat, improve your body composition a little bit, I don't think that's going to, make or break your distance running by any means. More so an issue when we start looking at the extremes of, how fast can this 240-pound athlete still run compared to, the 140-pound marathon and that kind of thing. Huge difference there, of course, in the context, again, of, should you weigh 160 or 165? Should you do a little hypertrophy work this offseason? Whatever. Probably not a huge deal.